Alright. This is a pretty neat little pistol here. It's a Spanish MAB and 32 ACP. This was a gun that was my grandfather's. It was actually in pretty bad shape when I got it. I had to re-blue the whole gun, replace the grips, get a new magazine, and a couple other things. And we're going to test it out here and see if it shoots. Right, holds 7 rounds. And I've got some of my favorite 32 ACP ammo. The most reliable, at least. It's a Remington UMC. Seems to always work pretty well. And my other 32 ACP guns. Here you can take a look at it. Frame is aluminum, and it's a fixed barrel. Alright, let's give it a try. So 3 rounds and we had a malfunction. You can see the bullet tipped up there and didn't get in the chamber. Let's pull this magazine out. Get that sucker in there and give it another try. So almost all of those, after I fired the gun, had to pull the hammer back again. Not sure if we were just getting a light strike. Let's try a few more. I can tell you this is not a comfortable gun to shoot. See, right there my hand is already red and that trigger is pretty rough. So the next one I have that malfunctions like that, I will eject it and we'll see if it has a light strike. I'm just going to shoot straight into the ground. Four rounds and we had one fail to go into the feed ramp. Alright, so didn't have any light strikes that time. I've got 10 more rounds. This ammo is not cheap. It's almost close to $30 a box. It's really crazy how expensive this stuff is. I need to get some more after this. Alright, let's give it another try. I wanted to put a glove on, but I'm not going to. So I can tell you guys how this thing feels after 20-something rounds. Alright, here we go. Did notice I have to hold very low on this gun because it bites in really quick. All right, let's give it another try. Alright. So failure to feed. Might just need a little bit of feed ramp polishing. Oh, same thing, bullet tipped up. Here we go. Yep, same thing. You know what? After that magazine, I think the magazine was not seated all the way, possibly. Maybe that's why it was not feeding right. I thought it was seated right there, but it wasn't. You can actually go in a little bit further. See how that goes. Last 3 rounds. Alright, no problems there. Pretty neat little gun. We'll take it apart and polish those feed ramps up, and maybe see if we can figure out why it's so hard for this magazine to go in and out. It's really, really tough right there. There we go. So yeah, pretty cool little thing. Do some work on it and see if we can get it to shoot a little bit more reliably. Alright, I've got a neat little pistol to show you guys, but there was quite a bit of rust on the slide, and the grips were damaged, and both of the magazines were damaged. So I re-blued almost the entire gun. You can see there's still a little bit of pitting here, but it's the best that I could do without removing any metal from the slide. It's a Spanish MAB model GZ, and it's chambered in 32 ACP. It's a copy of the Walther PP pistol, but this is a single action only model, versus the Walther is a single action and double action. A couple of interesting features about the gun are it has a magazine disconnect safety. So if you have a round in the chamber but you take the magazine out, you can't fire this gun. You've got to have the magazine in it for it to work. So pretty cool. Something else that's kind of interesting is this gun has what's called a rebounding hammer. So the hammer comes forward, hits the firing pin, and then rebounds and rests right there. It's almost like a half cock, kind of. It's pretty interesting. So if your finger's not on the trigger and it's not pulled down, it won't go forward. The gun is a unlocked breech fixed barrel. So you can see that there. And to take it down, you just pull that little sliding lever out there, or latch, whatever you want to call it, and then pull the gun to the back, bring the slide up at an angle, and the slide comes right off. There's not a spring in here for the firing pin. You can hear it rattle around. And the tip of it does not look like it has an actual point. It's pretty rounded. So I was having some problems with this pistol after getting it together. The old magazines were no good. They wouldn't feed at all. But once I got a good magazine, I had two issues. Every once in a while, one of the bullets would go tip straight up and look like this. It would do like the opposite of a nosedive. So the bullet would come in, totally miss the chamber, and hit the top of the slide, and it would just jam up in there like that. If you remove the magazine, pull the slide back, the round would fall into the chamber. And then I also, a few times I had to pull the hammer back again after firing the gun because it didn't set the round off. I didn't pull any of those, I didn't look at any of those bullets to see if they were light strikes or what the problem was. I'll have to take a look at that next time. So anyway, we're going to polish up the feed ramp. Alright, well, I got that feed ramp polished up really well, and it's going to be kind of hard to see in the pictures, but it was a whole lot better than it was. There were quite a few ridges in there, and I think that's what was giving me a problem with it feeding wrong. So, put this thing back together and go test it out. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments. Thanks.